Hi, Jenny with Easy Dough here, and today we're gonna show you all the, well, not all, but a lot of the fantastic things you can do with the dough that you've made with your Easy Dough bread maker. Now today we're gonna do two sweet things and two, my husband wants me to say herbal things. I would say savory, too sweet, too savory. But, so you've got your beautiful Easy Dough, and we're going to start. You're going to see just how easy this is. Sometimes it's nice to sprinkle a little bit of flour on your countertop. We'll see how that works. And we're going to roll the dough out to a rectangle. Now I'm using smaller pieces of dough because I don't want to have too much of this all over my house and be responsible for eating all of this. So first we're going to make orange rolls. Just roll your the bread dough that you've made with your Easy Dough. Then take a knife and some softened butter, and let's just run it over. Now of course your rectangle will be bigger because you've got a bigger piece of dough. Your rectangle will probably be about twice as big, and your recipe will make about twice as many rolls as mine does. Now, you could go with your basic cinnamon roll, and we're going to do something special with that in just a minute, but we're going to make some orange rolls, which is a little bit more unusual. So we're going to take an orange and a little bit of sugar. You might use about a quarter cup of sugar, and you know, don't get tied up about amounts. It's okay to play it by ear, just sort of go by guess and by gosh. We're going to take a little bit. You've rinsed your orange off, and we're going to microplane a little bit of the orange peel into your sugar. Just that easily. There you go. And we're going to cover that up. Shake that up. You can even do this the night before. And you're gonna, it smells so fresh. This is a really fresh tasting roll. And it's a nice surprise and change from your basic cinnamon roll. Then you just roll it up like a cinnamon roll. Take it from both ends. Roll it up, roll it up. And again, as we always do, the pinch, 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 pinch. And now we're just ready to slice that into some tasty rolls. And slice it about an inch or so, inch and a half thick. However, if you want these big, gigantic rolls, of course, you can roll it out. You can cut them a little thicker. Then I'm going to take my little baby pans here, since I'm using a little bit of dough to do a lot of demonstrating. You just spray your pan and then drop your rolls into your pan. And like so. There you go. Then you cover those and let them rise. When you're done, you have some beautiful, very, very fragrant rolls. And then in order to make some topping, a frosting over the top of this, you take a little bit of orange juice. You can take, you can juice the orange that you use some of the peel of, or you can just make some orange juice if you keep it in your refrigerator. Just add it to some powdered sugar. If you're making a whole recipe, maybe about a third of a cup of powdered sugar. Stir that up. I don't like a real thin icing. I like one that you can sort of drizzle or sort of brush over. That's almost too thick there. A lot of times I like to put an icing. There we go. I like to put icing in, let's see, a plastic bag. I had some icing in a plastic bag, but I am not finding it. So we'll just we'll just sort of drizzle this over. Yum! Yummo. You can see in some words of another famous cook how delicious that is. And everybody will ooh and ah over that. You can put as much or as little icing over it. There we go. There are the sweet orange rolls. Now we're going to work a little bit with the cinnamon rolls. And we're not going to make just plain old cinnamon rolls. We're going to do something sort of exciting with them. And people think that you are just fabulous for serving this. And again, this is just your basic easy dough recipe on the back of your bucket. Nothing fancy, no big surprises. Of course, you can make a sweet roll recipe that, you know, is richer, that has eggs and butter in it. But trust me, these are wonderful. And probably not as high in calories because it doesn't have all that extra fat and things in it. But you know, that's a nice thing to do every once in a while too. Then we're going to just sprinkle this with your cinnamon sugar. Now, I like to sprinkle it pretty generously with cinnamon sugar, and again, you know, just put some cinnamon and some sugar, similar to what you did with orange sugar. Just shake it up, pour it out. Now, jazz it up a little bit. Maybe you would like to put some, these are dried cranberries. You can use, you know, of course, raisins. You can put nuts. Use your imagination with these things. That's half the fun of this, is just creating these sort of wonderful, crazy things to do. So then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll it up just like you roll up, again, your cinnamon roll. And pinch, 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 pinch on your seam there. Give it a little roll. Now this one, since we're going to do this sort of fancy thing, we're going to roll it out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take my little mini pan again. And normally to do just a normal cinnamon roll, which is another great thing that people say, ooh, ah, wonderful, just slice it up. You can do that. Now we're going to do something just a little different. Instead, we're going to just slice right down the middle. These lamps and sharp knives are super sharp, made just for bread cutting, and cut right through there. All right, there we go. Now, now, don't be afraid of this. This is sort of a mess, but it's certainly not a science, not an exact science. Just wind it around in there. Take your second piece where you left off. Wind that around. Now you're going to use like a 9-inch pan because you're going to use a bigger piece of dough with your easy dough. I'm just using this little one, so I can do all these little demonstrations. You're going to have something that looks like that. We're going to let that rise again for probably 20 minutes to half an hour. And when it comes out of the oven, you're going to have something amazing looking that looks like this. And believe me, this really, this always draws a lot of high praise. And I wish I had my bag of icing that I had made when we could drizzle icing over this. If it appears here, here it appears. There it is. All right, and if you put your icing, like we just made, in a little bag, we can put these real fine little lines over it, which is very pretty. You can make all this. And all you do here, of course, is just tuck your icing into a baggie. You don't need a fancy bread thing. I mean a icing bag, excuse me. But here you have got, ooh, this beautiful, beautiful thing that everybody will want a bite of. And yours will be bigger. Yours will be a 9-inch, and you'll have this beautiful creation. So there's our sweets. Now we're gonna, I know this video is a little long. You can forward on through it if you view it again and go straight to savory. Okay, we're gonna clean that off a little bit. And we're gonna go to our savories. And we'll roll out another one. This is one of my family's favorite and most requested recipes at a dinner. And they call them cucina rolls because there's a lot like a roll that a little Italian restaurant in our town used to serve before they moved elsewhere. A little butter on your, and I just use softened butter. Here, you don't have to melt it. You can melt it if you'd like to. Spread that out. Then you take a little bit of garlic. Just chopped garlic. I use the canned. If you have fresh, squeeze some fresh garlic over that. Some fresh minced garlic. Spread it out so there's a little bit of garlic everywhere you go. On a full recipe, you're going to use probably a teaspoon or so. All right, then we're going to have a little bit of Italian seasoning, some nice mixed herbs there. This is really, 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 really simple and really, really, really delicious too. You will get rave reviews on this. Then we're going to put a little Parmesan cheese on it. Looking yummier and yummier. And some mozzarella. Yes, mozzarella. All right. Now at this point you could also, think about making pepperoni rolls out of something like this. Add some pepperoni, roll it up into larger rolls, and you could have some pepperoni rolls here. But we're just going to do some really tasty dinner rolls. Just roll it up again like a cinnamon roll fashion. Easy, easy, easy. I made that a little long, so I'm going to smash it at the ends and bring it together. Again, don't fret the small stuff. Like my roll was too long. I just sort of smashed it at the ends and brought it in, and it's going to work. All right, then, whoop. Clean that before I came in here. Put a little spray down there. We're just going to cut that up. Now this little baby will make about 6 rolls, and yours, of course, will make about 12. And you should be able to squeeze that in a 9-inch pan. The end ones I like to smash down just a little bit so they sit a little nicer in the pan. But then you just put them in there. And again, you're going to bake this. All of these bake for maybe 25 minutes. There you go. Tasty, tasty, tasty. And then if you care to, you can sprinkle a little extra mozzarella on the top as that bakes. Then it'll turn golden. Beautiful, beautiful. And when you're done, you get some beautiful, I sprinkle the tops of these with a little additional Parmesan, and then when they came out of the oven, they're a little dry looking, so oftentimes I'll brush them with butter. So, but oh, so very delicious. You will enjoy those. And then the last thing we're going to create is we're going to make a ham and cheese roll. I talked to you about making, and again, here's a, you can just sort of go crazy with your imagination on these kind of things. Just enjoy yourself with the bread. It's so much fun. I'm taking a little, whoa, mustard everywhere. I'm taking a little bit of Dijon mustard, putting that on there. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. And then, let's see. Then we're going to put a little bit of ham. On yours, you'd probably use about 1/2 pound. I'm using about 1/4 pound here. Now the bread dough, of course, it's the mix on the back of your bread dough bucket. You can also purchase our Basically Everything bread, which, as you well see, it creates basically everything. Okay. Then on top of that, we're going to put some Swiss. Now, use your imagination here. Let's think together. How about a Reuben loaf with you know, some sauerkraut and some corned beef or something in there. Yum, 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 yum. So here we go. That looks pretty darn good. Then you're going to make these angled cuts on the side. And then all we're going to do here is we're going to take one side and fold it over, then fold the other one over that. Then one side, the other side. Okay. Can you see what I'm doing here? This is not the greatest demo room here. One side, the other side, one side, the other side, 1, 2, and you get sort of a braid looking thing. Whoops. 1, 2, and then we have this. And then at the ends, you're just going to sort of pinch it off. Okay. Then you're going to take one of our great, hopefully this is what you're using, a USA pan sold by Easy Dough, made in the United States. Really nice heavy duty pans and they bake up great. Now if you'd like a crispy bottom to it, you'd sprinkle this with a little bit of cornmeal. I am always forgetting my cornmeal. It's okay. Then you're just going to move that onto your pan. Oh, imagine that. There appears my cornmeal, but it's too late. I'm not going to lift that up and do it. But you can. It makes a really nice, I'll show you in a minute, a nice crispy crust. Then you can take basting brush. These are pastry brushes. Very nice wide. Brush it with a little bit of egg mixed up with a tiny bit of water. And if you really want to jazz it up, sprinkle some poppy seeds or some sesame seeds over the top, just to make it look all the more beautiful. And then again, bake at 375 for about a half an hour, 25 minutes. Did you get a peek at that? There, it's sliding away. I'm going to show you the finished product. Dinner tonight. So there are all the wonderful things we've done with just basically everything. The recipe that's on the back of your bucket are basically everything mix. You can make all these delicious, amazing things and so much more with the dough that you create in your Easy Dough bucket. Thanks for joining us.